Guys, here I am. I'm back at the house, and what an epic fail. What happened just now? I went to Laundromat and I recorded the video, but unfortunately, my mic and my phone, they weren't synced up, so none of the audio got captured. So, what I plan on doing is we'll cut the screen in half, we'll play the video that did not get the audio captured, and then I will just talk side by side, and hopefully things line up. And I'll do my best to remember exactly what happened. So the video starts off, and I'm showing you now what the restrooms look like in the laundromat. Restrooms and laundromat are essential, extremely important. I've talked about this story before. It is a true story. It's the stories of Buc-ee's, the gas station. Buc-ee's, if you're not familiar with that story, really quickly, it is a gas station that has a cult-like following. They are huge now. They are huge now. You hear that sound? That's the sound of my cat destroying my couch. They're huge. And the way they became huge is that when people would go on road trips, they began to notice that Buc-ee's had the cleanest restrooms out of all the other gas stations. So they were skipping, whenever they had to use the restroom, they would skip other gas stations. They would hold in their poop, they would hold in their pee, and they'd go 10 more miles to that Buc-ee's because they knew that when they made it to that Buc-ee's, there would be a clean restroom waiting for them. And nowadays, if you're traveling through Texas, you'll see Buc-ee's billboard, and the billboard would literally say 196 miles to Buc-ee's. And people will do their absolute best to hold on to Buc-ee's. So, extremely important. Do your best to have the best restrooms you can. As you can see from my restrooms, they're not perfect, but I make small little increments of improvement. And that's what I'm showing you in this video. I've painted the bottom half of the restroom a black, specifically called Little Black Dress. You can get that paint from Home Depot. The top was painted a glossy white, so it still looks pretty good in there. You have white and black, which contrast each other. You've got a new light in there, which is super bright. And then also I've installed one of those fan blowers for your hands, which is better than what I had before. So what I had before were paper towels. And what would happen is that I would restock paper towels in there, and like immediately some homeless person would go in there, reach in because they could squeeze their hand in, and yank out all the paper towels. And then there'd be it. That'd be completely done. No more paper towels for anybody else. So to fix that issue, we went with the hand blow dryer, and they work pretty good. I like them. They look more modern. So overall, it's a nice little plus. And then in that video, I don't show you it, but I should have talked about it, is the faucet. You don't want the little turn faucets like the ones that you have at your house, because people will leave that running because they don't care. They'll leave it running and then they'll leave. So what I got is I got a little push button. You push it, and then you can program how long you want the water to run for. I do it for about 15 seconds. So about 15 seconds, you push the button, you get 15 seconds, you're in, you're out. It kind of deters the homeless people from coming. Not completely, but it makes it a little harder for them to take their baths, which is the goal. Alright, so in this next clip, we're talking about the laundromat lockers. Now, they are still in their infancy. We're still working out the kinks, and those are the prototypes that you see me talking about. Yeah, they're good. They're good for little amounts of laundry, and they are good if you bring your laundry in a trash bag. But what they are not good for, and what I didn't have foresight in seeing this when I made them, is that people bring their clothes in their laundry baskets, right? They have the very circular laundry baskets, and they have the very tall, cylindrical type laundry baskets, both of which would not fit in those lockers. That was a big error in my part. I didn't think about it when I decided to make lockers for drop-off laundry. So if you are thinking about doing the route of pickup and delivery lockers, I would strongly recommend that you make them like a cabinet type, like out of wood. And then also your dimensions for each slot should be the dimensions of like the average laundry basket. So your width needs to be the width or the diameter of a laundry basket, or laundry basket, and the height wise should also be the height of a laundry basket. If you can nail those two things, then you'll take care of almost everybody, because they'll be able to fit those things right inside your locker and it'll work out perfectly. And then also I go on in the video to talk about my little combi locks. They're called combi locks, I think that's what they're called. And then the customer can set their own password they want. So if they want to set it to 275, they do that and then they lock it. And then now no one can open up that locker except for the original person who set the lock. Also, I can open up the locker because I have the keys. So they drop off their clothes, they set the code, and they lock it. I come behind, I unlock it, watch drive fold, blah, blah, blah. You shoot them the text, say, hey, your clothes are ready. You can pay by Zelle, Venmo, credit card, cash, whatever, however you want. And then you put the clothes back in, you close it, and you lock it. And now they can come by and unlock it, and boom, bada, boom, they're done. That's the idea behind the laundromat lockers. Okay, now we're by my dryers. Man, I wish the audio would have worked because I had like a lot to say here. But essentially what I'm talking about is how to price your dryers. A lot of people are now doing the set price, the fixed price, meaning that if anybody wants to wash their clothes, they have to pay a fixed amount. For example, $2, $2.50, right? And then if they don't pay that much, the dryer will not start. As opposed to the old conventional way of you put in 1/4 and you get X amount of minutes back. Every quarter you put in, you get X amount of minutes extra. To me personally, the old school way was the best way. And here's the issue with this new set price that all these new school guys are pushing, is that it defeats the whole purpose of having faster washers. So when you go buy washers, your distributor will ask you, do you want 100G washers, 200 or 400Gs? And the only difference between all of these machines is that the 400, it spins the fastest. And because it spins the fastest, water is shot out of your clothes more efficiently. So in theory, when you pull out your clothes from a 400G washer, they should be drier than if you had pulled out your clothes from a 100G washer, because the 400G spins faster. Now, to my best of my knowledge, that is true, right? 400Gs is faster than 100Gs, and therefore drier clothes. The issue arises when you make customers dry for 30 minutes. It totally defeats the whole purpose of having 100 and 400G machines, because they're gonna dry no matter what for 30 minutes, even if their clothes do not need it. Perhaps you have 400Gs and you actually only need 20 minutes of dry time, but you've forced them to do 30 minutes. So they're gonna get caught up in the dryers. Meanwhile, someone who has 100G washers, like myself, who doesn't force the customer into 30-minute increments, the customer can get in, maybe do 20 minutes, 25, and then they're gone. 5 minutes makes a big difference. It gives the customer more freedom to do whatever they want to do. I don't really see set prices as being superior. People say, oh, you make more money with set prices. Well, my logic is, why don't you charge more per minute or offer less time per quarter, and then they will balance out again. That's just common sense. I'm not sure why this new thought of set prices is like starting to spread, but for me, it's a no-no. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, now we're gonna wrap up the video, and here's where I get on my soapbox. I have an issue with this YouTuber. I can't say his name because I'm pretty sure he would sue. And he wouldn't sue me because I was lying. No, he would just sue me because I was telling the truth. But here's the issue. There's someone who goes around and they collect quarters. Right? They collect quarters. That's not a new idea. But when they give you the count to how much money they made for that week, for that month, whatever, they count all the money from the washers, right? They put all the quarters inside a quarter counter and the machine counts it. And he says something like, oh, I made $800 this week. I made $1,000 this week, whatever. And then he'll go to his change machine and he'll count all the money in the change machine. And then at the very end, he combines both the change machine and the money that was within the washing machine. The issue is that he's counting his income twice. The money that's inside the change machine does not matter because that was an exchange of money. No money's being made there. If you give me $1 and I give you 4 quarters back, how much money did I make? Nothing. The money's made in the washing machines, in the dryers. That's when a service has been provided. But if you go and you do this and intentionally know that you're doing this, that you're counting double, that is misleading. You're misleading the audience. You're hyping up laundromats to be something that they're not. You're trying to make it seem as laundromats make more money than they actually do, which is not cool. My whole channel is about being completely honest with people who want to get into this business. That way, should they ever find themselves in this business, they don't feel like they got screwed over. I'm not here to sell anybody dreams, to make clickbaity videos, or anything like that. I'm just here to push the truth, and anybody who stands in the way of the truth in the laundromat world needs to get out of the way. I'm not sure how these people sleep at night trying to promote this BS, but not on my watch. Anyways, that's my philosophical thing for the day. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. If you like to debate me in anything, post in the comments. I'm open for debate. Thank you.